Hey everyone, I am so excited that you are joining me today to worship. I can't wait. We're going to get to talk today about words. Okay, now before I hear you groaning, words, yes, sometimes they can be boring, but today they're going to be really exciting, okay? Because words can have so many different meanings. Sometimes words don't have a meaning at all. For example, bupkis. If I said, ooh, I fell on my bupkis, ow, right? Y'all would know what I was talking about. But bupkis doesn't actually have a meaning at all. Isn't that funny? Well, there's other words that have multiple meanings for the same word. And we're gonna take a look at one of those words today. Let's check it out. Okay, so before we get to the main word we're going to talk about, I want to give you an example. Now, I want you to think about the word theater. You got it? What came to your mind? All right, raise your hand if you thought about the movie theater, right? Where you could go to see Spider-Man, or whatever your favorite movie is, okay? Put your hands down. Now, when I said theater, raise your hand if you thought about a theater production, right? You can go to the theater. You can go see a play. It has people that have lines, actors and actresses. They have costumes and they sing songs, dance. They do a lot of different things. Like you could be in a theater class at school even. Okay, that's another meaning for the word theater. All right, put your hands down. Now this last one's a little bit trickier. Okay, raise your hand if you knew the word theater could refer in history to an area of the world. Okay, maybe a few less hands that time. But you could talk about like the North American theater, which would mean the area of North America. So theater is an example that words can have multiple meanings. Okay, here's another word that you may be even more familiar with. Church. Church is another word that can have multiple meanings. Now, sometimes when people say the word church, they're referring to all of God's people all around the world. God's people everywhere in the world are known as His church. Sometimes when people say the word church, they're talking about a group of believers in a specific area who live, worship, play together, do all types of things together. They live life together. That could be a local church. So like for us, we go to the Summit Church. That's another type of church. And then some people, when they say the word church, they're referring to a building or something that we go to on the weekends, right? So like, we might say, hey, let's get ready to go to church on Sunday morning or Saturday night. Well, at the Summit, the question is, what does that word mean? And why is church different now? So here at the Summit, we exist following the Holy Spirit to be a movement of disciple-making disciples in RDU and around the world. So when we say the word church at the Summit, we're referring to those first two things. The church globally, all around the world, is God's people. The church also is a group of people that we do life with, that we worship with, that we hang out with and play with, that we talk about hard things to, that we celebrate good things with. It's our local body of believers. So, while we might not be doing that last type of church right now, we aren't coming all together on a Sunday morning. We aren't in Summit Kids, which is a huge, huge bummer, and I miss you guys so much. We haven't stopped being the church. We're the church when we do home gatherings on the weekends. We're the church when we're worshiping with mom and dad watching this video. We're the church where we're at. I want you guys to know that words are important. Words matter. And while we don't gather on the weekends right now, we can still be the church. Now, parents, I'm going to turn it over to you guys to answer a couple of questions and then pray through our prayer prompts.
Can wash away my sin. When I fall again and I hear condemned on this, I'll stand, living the life I could not live, dying the death that I deserved. Jesus in my place, Jesus in my place. This is hope, this is grace, Jesus in my place. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. On that final day when I stand and face my God, bold and confident, I will say, Lord, this is all I have, living the life I could not live, dying the death that I deserved. Jesus in my place, Jesus in my place. This is hope, this is grace, Jesus in my place. dying the death that I deserved, bearing my sin to pay the price, rising again to give me life. Jesus in my place, Jesus in my place. This is hope, this is grace. Jesus in my place, Jesus in my place, Jesus in my place. This is hope, this is grace. Jesus in my place, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus in my place. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus in my place.
Thank you guys so much for letting me join you to worship today. And remember, wherever you are sent.